Hello my friends, Boomy back once again with another video for you, my swtor brothers and sisters. How you doing today in a galaxy far, far, far? Ooh, I look pretty. Oh wait, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button for all your swtor fun news and sometimes guides and updates right here, right now. Friends, we're gonna get to the second part of the whole dev live stream. At least the part that I think is like the most important. There's a lot of fluff, there's a lot of reskin mounts they're pushing out, and there's cartel market stuff, which we're never going to talk about. But we're going to talk about something very important. Yes, there are cartel market items here they're redoing, but the character modernization updates is the most important, and they are doing something actually really cool with aliens and recoloring and stuff like that. So let's get into this. And have some fun with Eric Musco and Bradley Lewis.
That's pretty fun.
Is it?
I don't know. And we're back.
Are we?
I don't know. I'm still the same person because I've been in this chair the whole time.
And I'm not. I'm Brad Lewis, the art director for Star Wars: The Old Republic, and welcome to the Old Republic Shopping Network.
That's right.
Where we're going to feature some fabulous
Like
prizes.
I said, I will
We need
say
a sweet ticker on the bottom. I don't know what it would
this
display.
is probably far more
Numbers?
professional than the
We
last
just made
stream
a
we got
numbers-
from these
It don't
guys.
mean anything. We just put numbers there.
This is your show.
I don't know what we're talking about
I
either.
don't even know I'm here.
Anyway, let's talk about what's coming to the cartel market and how things are going on the character modernization front. Because we have some
yeah,
pretty
that sounds
good
like
questions.
fun.
Yeah,
Oh, look what's still available, though.
that is true.
Oh,
This is
they're
still
pushing
available.
this
Are we
thing.
gonna remember the date? Hang
No,
on.
I
We
can't.
won't. No, but don't tell us. Don't say it. Don't say it. No. Let's see if we can remember. Let's wait. Hang on.
June.
We did.
I mean,
we
is
did,
the
it's important.
flourish
We
on
referenced
that's pretty
this
cool.
twice, and they told us both times. We'll see if we
I'm
remember.
just not
Let's
the
talk
big-
about
it
this
looks
first.
like-
Let's talk about this first, and then we'll guess.
I wish
So
it
this
had
is the Storm 1
a wing
edition
on the
bundle
other
for
side,
JTF,
so you can have two
offering.
mounts
And this
because it
has
looks like an airplane.
a really fun mount. It's got a pet platform,
Yep.
which is apparently popular. It's got firing cannons, animated dashboard, a speed boost.
That'd be
with
great,
VFX
like if I
thrusters.
actually used my
And sound
pets.
effects.
I don't use my pets
Fantastic
at
sound
all.
package
Yeah.
That you just really got to hear.
If my
Usable
pets
level
gave me
one.
extra heals
Yep.
or did
And
tanking for me,
I
then
feel
maybe
like
I'd use
We
them.
need like a PowerPoint just for this thing. I don't know if we missed anything, but
This
it's.
is PowerPoint.
Oh, we are. That is correct. We are actually making a PowerPoint presentation.
So what
for
we're
this now,
probably
too.
going to do, actually,
So,
as I'm thinking
yeah,
about it,
we have
is
the, like, the
we
whole
are
house at this
going
now,
to
which is
skip some of
awesome.
this
Almost
BS.
the whole house. There's
Almost the whole
Stuff
house.
you already know.
I'm not going to talk
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
Anyway, this
We got
comes
some
with-
Dies as well.
Narshada stuff. I mean, this is all cartel market stuff. I guess it looks pretty cool. I mean, this is the Master of the Fight bundle, Storm 1 edition. And I guess it's cool, but that's not really what we care about. I mean, why are we shelling out $100 for what exactly? But here's the best part. Let's skip it ahead. Let's skip it ahead.
Into theming, right? Which I imagine a lot of people would be. But again, I'm not bossy. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
Live out your fantasy.
Speaking of whatever you want,
Let's talk about character modernization. Yep.
Very important.
let's
They
talk
did
about this
fix
as
some
kind of just
things,
a
so this is
setup,
cool.
And then we'll talk about the specifics. So there's 3 sets of things that we're doing on the character
chests are getting
modernization front
fixed.
in 7.7. We're making some continued updates to definition changes. These are some things we've kind of talked about a little bit in the past. But we're going to give you some specifics. We have improvements coming to the chest textures as well. And then something I don't
Good.
remember if we had. I feel like nostalgia tells me that I've talked about this on a live stream before. We have? Great. We have talked about this before. Thank you,
okay,
Jack.
then we can talk about it today.
Great. Otherwise, we would have been in so much trouble because
We
it's
would
already
have
on the
to
slide. I don't even know what we do. We're live. We're going to talk about updates to the preview window and some parity we're bringing to game lighting. So let's hit those one by one. Definition changes.
There we go.
What are we doing about definition changes in 7.7?
So, in order to adhere to the modernization effort that we have to bring
Okay.
the fidelity level up to other NPCs levels with your player character, but still respect the fact
looks
that
like
we want your
he
character
had a
that you're
stroke.
used to look the way
I'm not
you
sure if I'm a
prefer
fan of
it
that
to.
one.
We are eliminating a lot of the programmatic smoothing that we had applied to the updated texture sets. And we are bringing that back into artist control to more strategically define.
Am I
where
the only
those
one, or do their
sharpenings
faces
and
look a lot
smoothings
more
are located?
elongated? It could just be how they're filming it in the game, but their faces look a bit like very elongated compared to what we have right now. I'm not saying it's game breaking, but you can see right over here. You can't see my mouse, but if you go onto the side of his face where there isn't a mole, it looks more like not as defined as his other side with the mole. Huh.
We're really happy with where this is now, and we hope that you will be too. This will be an ongoing effort. We are likely never be done with these kinds of things, but we
See,
still
her face
want
looks
to
a bit more
bring the
rounded,
characters
and I'm
into the
okay with
modern
that.
era, respective
It's also,
of
I think, it's also the
people's
way she,
opinions and preferences
whomever
as to
filmed
what
this,
the way they should look.
Yeah,
is,
because again, this, and we had talked about this
has
kind of
the
after our
character,
first
'cause she
wave
needs
of
to
this,
tilt it
is
to be
kind of
just
where we
like
had
she did
leaned
the
in
last
the
one.
first place was a very programmatic.
I'm assuming it's a she.
stroke
I
of
could
this,
be
right?
wrong.
So it's like
More than likely, it's probably
it has to
Jackie.
be
I
it's
don't
one or
know.
all, right? And now we're kind of pulling back from that, so artists can kind of have a more direct touch on where is it wrinkly, where is it not wrinkly.
Right,
These are my
right.
very technical terms that I'm using as an artist.
That's very technical. You're right on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
Yep. Next up.
Oh, here's the chist,
improvement.
guys.
So,
I
and
know a
again,
lot
this-
of people have
this
been
is
talking
my
about
context,
this.
So correct me if I say something that's incorrect. But
Okay.
when we made the original set of
See, this one looks
updates to
fine.
species on modernization,
The head looks fine on this
in
one.
a way, Chiss almost wasn't on our list directly, but there
Right.
was some knock-on effects
But
with
the
Chiss
human
because we kind
ones
of updated
look
humans
very like
with
this
Chiss
does
in a
look
way-
elongated, but
in a way used,
not
right?
as
And so this is
bad.
kind of us going back and touching up Chiss,
Right,
kind of
not
some
to,
of those effects.
Not to get too far into the details, but certain texture assets were shared across the
Okay,
two species.
I like it. I mean, the
and
Chiss
affecting
were
one
looking
affected the
horrible,
other.
so this
we've
looks a
separated
lot
that out
better.
A bit, and we've gone through and spent a lot of time trying to iron out a lot of discrepancies and inconsistencies with those texture sets and those game model assets.
Yep. Yeah. So here's some of the cleanup we've done with which is I'm very excited for this as someone who my personal main.
I mean,
is
big
a-
shout out to the
Chiss
art
and
director
Skate
team, the art director and his
Excited for
team
Chiss.
for
Last-
being able to
Thank
do
you.
this.
Love it. Last
here's the
one,
preview
I know
window.
This is one you're very personally excited about, and not that you're not excited about all of this, but
Well, some of it.
parity between the preview window and the video game people play.
Right.
The live world outside of it. What does that mean, and why is that important?
The reason it was a problem before, the virtual stages we use for the preview window and the targeting window and the character modernization.
looks better.
Or not modernization. Customization screens.
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
a lot of terms
Yeah, so
there.
appearance designer, your character portrait, and
Right.
the live game
Right.
do not all look different than what the preview window does.
Correct.
Yeah.
Those did not have embedded reflections or correct specular lighting conditions. So when you would preview something that was very heavily dependent on reflections or specular, it wouldn't render properly compared to when you equip it. So that's a big problem if we are trying to add value to things that have heavy reflections. You just weren't able to see what those would look
I
like
like
on
this.
your
This is
character
cool.
until you had applied
I wish
them
they
or
had
equipped
applied
them.
this, you know,
So
in
we're
the beginning of the
trying to
game.
raise the
But it
level
is
of
what it is. I like that
between
they're
the preview
bringing
window
this in
stages and
finally to the
actual
game.
so that it's a better representation
nice.
of what you're about to equip or purchase.
Right. Yeah. So, and especially this is important for, to your point, armor sets that have reflective components.
Correct.
Yeah.
Dies, either dies equipped on reflective pieces or
I
respective.
mean, that is true. How many times
Those
have we bought stuff and bought a die and whatnot, and we put it on a character, we see it in the preview screen, we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then we put it on the character and you go into the live game, and you're just like, oh, that's not as cool as I thought it was going to look. Or vice versa. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah. I'm glad they fixed that.
in those components, it's especially where it's the most important, because what we don't want you to do is preview something in the preview window, which is the only place you'd be able to see it,
Right.
hence the preview window.
That's why it's for previewing.
It's true. And then you equip it and go, that's not exactly what it looked like.
Yep,
outside of
we've
it.
all been
We
there.
wanted to not be misleading in what you see is what you get
Right.
kind of situation.
And then we called it out on the first slide. We don't actually have a slide dedicated to it, but the other thing we've talked about is kind of parity across the game. And so the art and engineering teams have also done a lot of work on bringing graphical parity between NPCs, your player character, and other player characters as well. I mean, that's coming.
I mean, that's okay. I like
Right.
that. That's
the,
good.
The three components of that are your player character that you yourself view, other player characters, and NPCs. And those were all rendered slightly different due to performance reasons that we have to have in our game. But the engineering team and the art team have really been spending a lot of work bringing those consistency levels up
Good.
so that the entire visual experience is more consistent and there's not a big jarring difference between someone with the exact same settings over here and you on screen.
Right.
Good. I like that.
Mentioned something about the character portrait too.
Yeah.
You mentioned about
Yeah. That's in part of the preview window changes that the
Right.
Yep. Okay, and so what's the timeline for these? So all of the stuff we just talked about, all of it will be available on PTS, which again, we'll talk PTS timing on the last slide, but it's very soon. So you'll be able to see all of that. Let us know what you think. Let us know of any bugs that you see or any feedback that you still have, because again, all this is just going to continue to be an ongoing process.
Right.
Yep. We're continuing to work on modernization, as we've talked about since the very
I would
beginning
hope
of
so.
this. The thing
You know what
that's
they need to
important
do
for us,
is put a
I think,
freaking
is that we wanna
toggle
make
in.
sure that we lock
So
this down, get to a place
most
that
of the
we feel
people, we
comfortable
all can
with
just
it, we
stop
feel like
the
you're
arguing.
comfortable with it before we move on to additional species, because we are going to be working on additional species.
That's right.
Yeah.
We don't know which one next.
I mean, we do know which one.
we know. I'm not going to tell. I'm not even going to tell you.
Yeah.
To Gruda.
I can tell him.
And there's Keith,
Says
who's
he
in the
knows.
background.
Yeah, we
'Cause
just
I
don't
swear,
let
every
him
time we've seen
Right.
Keith on these live
so, yeah,
streams
that's
recently,
that.
he just looks
So,
really like
let's recap.
dejected
That's
and like
It's a meaty
tired.
stream. I don't know what our timestamp
Which-
is at. You don't
If
know.
I worked with
I
these
don't.
people, I would probably look the
What?
same way too.
Oh, 124? Well, that's more than an hour, so you should have gotten your German House reward by now.
Yeah.
Let's recap Game Update 7.7 Dynamic Worlds. Galactic Threads, Masters Enigma Story Update. So that's, once again, as soon as we have those pieces, we will come back to you and let you know exactly what timelines we have and when.
Good,
We have
'cause
the
we
Ares
need
window
story.
that's coming,
We need to finish
along
this
with mission log
freaking
updates that are
story.
coming, alongside of it. Master Mode XR53, along with new augments. Again, look for details on all that stuff, all coming there. PvP Season 8, Nar Shaddaa Nightlife is coming back.
Nar
New
Shaddaa
dynamic
Nightlife,
encounters
time
coming
to
across
blow all
7
your
planets,
credits.
hence it wasn't actually consistent with 7.7, but I guess it worked out nicely that we
9?
did.
It's more.
It's now a total of 9. Yeah, tons of quality of life updates. Sorry, I've been talking for an hour and a half across the whole game. We have new.
It's like he's
cartel
never
market
streamed before,
items.
which I get.
Very excited about. a lot of that
Sometimes we
stuff.
stroke out when
And
we're
then
trying to
the character
talk.
modernization updates that we just talked about as well. So just so much exciting stuff.
Listen. Do you smell that?
Uh-oh.
I don't think you listen with your nose.
That is the smell of one more thing.
Did I miss something on another stream?
I think you did because there's a gap down there.
Oh, there is a spot missing at the bottom. Did we actually leave a spot for the bunny? That'd be fun.
What they should have done is put a bullet point down there and
that
just leave it
PowerPoint? I don't
blank.
That'd be cute. What kind of thing would we be missing?
How about we look at the next slide?
I guess so.
So this
So
is
we
what I want to
heard
talk
that
about.
players
This
like
is
to
actually
customize their
very
characters.
cool.
I think it happens.
So, and so the thing that we took a look at is what if we, I think greatly would be a fair adjective here, expanded the color customization, skin
Yes.
tone options that
Yes.
players had across.
Yes,
alien
that is
species.
great.
I think that's a good. That's
Now
a
we
good
can
way to
have
describe it.
albino
There were a
Twi'leks.
few
Burnt
that
orange.
way, and now there are a great many.
There are
now.
there are a great many. So effectively, you can look at this video, and I'll talk.
I
over
want
this
mine to be
video
like pitch black.
With words.
Of words.
See, this
I think
is really
it's
cool.
6
I
or
love
7
this
alien
part.
Species.
This
We'll
is
see on
awesome.
The next slide.
Right.
We have added a great many skin color options, many of which are highly requested. Like
There you go.
purple
You have your
Twi'lek, which you
albino
just saw us
Twi'lek
click
over there.
past.
Some of them are great.
Some of them are great. Yeah. So if we want to go to the next slide, we can see exactly what the specifics are. So we have now added. You can see the numbers, but
That's
Cathar,
cool.
Chist, Miri Allen, Nautilin, Sith Purebloods, Togruta, and Twi'lek have now each received
A great many.
a great many.
So I wonder if you can, for your Sith
there's-
pure blood, you
also
can make him
seven.
albino. I
Not
think that'd be
seven
kind of
options,
cool.
seven
There-
species.
Jesus Christ, there was 7. Why are there? How did we get so many 7s in this update? I wish that I could say we planned that. We didn't. These 7 species have received many customizations, and the
Do you think
caveat
they'll have
that I
one
will
with
call
a
out, and this is
Cathar
not a bad
that is
caveat.
hairless, kind of
Basically,
like a
as long as you
Siamese cat,
own
but it'll be a
access to
Siamese
this
Cathar?
species,
Right.
You have access to all of the skin colors that have been added. Period. So once 7.7's out, feel free to just go make a blue Cathar or a
Go
purple Twi'lek or
enjoy all the myriad new colors we have offerings
Yep.
in the.
I like this. This is good.
They are vast. So and
This is good.
So, let's go
Boomy's
back to the actual
Boomy approves
recap.
of this.
Oh,
which
we
is
add another bullet point.
we did now add one more bullet point. So I won't go through the whole thing again because it's the same thing except
We keep talking.
new customization options. The one thing, 2 things that are not on the slide that I will mention. PTS. When can I check these things out? So our
Soon.
plan for PTS
TM.
is that PTS will be live either today or tomorrow, as far as we can tell, barring any hiccups. It should be live very soon.
Good, I'm glad. So if you
the
guys
only
are on the
things that will not
PTS
be
checking
live
this
on
stuff out,
PTS
let me
are the
know.
Things that are normally not on PTS, so you won't be able to see any of the story, any of the seasonal content.
There's
or
no
the
story to
items,
see.
If you're able to purchase them. or
Not
anything.
yet, at least.
So otherwise,
Hopefully
everything
soon.
else that we talked about today, all of it will be live on PTS, so you'll be able to check it out. Please do so. Please give us your feedback as per usual. Last question you'll always ask: when's 7.7 coming out? Not far from now. We're targeting end of May or early June.
End of May, early June, okay.
Our plan is once
Which
we
is
go
not
to
that
PTS,
far
it'll
away. It's only
probably
a couple
be pretty
weeks.
Fast PTS cycle. We're really close. So we'll go to PTS. We'll check it out. Make sure everything looks pretty buttoned up, and then we'll probably be able to come back to you pretty quickly with a launch date. So that's us for 7.7.
That's it. You want to take some calls from the public?
We need like a phone. To
That'd be
like, "Hey, it's just
awesome
a
if they
phone
actually
show."
took
First time,
calls
long
from the
time.
public. Can you imagine?
That's been fun.
That
Can you just imagine what fun could be had if that happened? Like, the insanity would ensue. I would be trying to call in. You can just know that Nightmare R4 would be just going crazy, and Sam and I would both be trying to get in to call in on that one. That would just be nuts. I missed when they used to actually read comments from the chat. They don't really do that anymore, which is why that's given rise to the whole speculation of whether or not these streams are actually live or not. I don't know. It really does kind of seem like they're not. They're pre-recorded, but you know what? We don't 100% know. We're not 100% there, so it is what it is. We're still getting stuff. But I like this. This is another good thing that came out of the stream. The one good thing was we know they're working on the story content. We know that it's almost-ish, at least 7.6 is almost-ish done. They're just missing a couple pieces here and there. And then we have this with the color, being able to add more color to your skin tone, or less color rather, to your skin tone for a myriad of 7 races. And I think that's really cool. In fact, I think you should do that for all of them. You're humans. What if you want your human to be completely red? You don't know what her ancestry's like. Somewhere down the line, maybe Grandpa stopped off at Korriban or Iokath, not Iokath, wouldn't be Iokath, would it? No, Yavin, and went to a bar and got drunk one night and, had some fun time with a pure blood princess. You don't know. It's an interesting story. We should write short stories about these things. It would get us kicked off the internet immediately, but we should. But anyways, friends, I like this. This is good. Beard approved on this one. So, hey, when they do a good thing, we need to shout that out as well. Not just be critical about every single thing in the game. I know people have been like, Boomy, you're so critical about stuff. And I'm like, I'm critical about the things that need to be criticaled about. Just saying. But this was good. I'm looking forward to this. A lot of albino Twi'leks will be being made by me, at least. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's keep the conversation going on down there. What do you think about this? Which species do you think you're just going to have way too much fun with creating the different colors? Let me know. Make sure you hit that like button, that share button, and that bell notification button for whenever I have videos going out and when I do go live. Friends, do that thing. We would love it if you do. And make sure, hey, you want to get early access? Do you want to get a monthly podcast, for which I really need to be making one really soon? Why not become a member to the channel? It literally does help keep the lights on. And hey, no matter what, either way, thank you so much for watching. Friends, make sure you hit that subscribe button, become part of the family here at Boomy Nation, the Freak Show YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community. And don't forget to spay and neuter your Wookiees. We'll see you later, my friends. Good day.
Hit that button, ask for more.